There you go. I'm in the classroom, finally.
Alrighty, brother. So, what I was going to do today, I was thinking that we could have a look at some of your most recent games, in particular in the time control that is matching the competition that you are going to play. And I'm going to yell at you a lot, and you are going to improve 200 rating points per minute. How is that?
Sounds great. So you already picked one.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So this was your most recent game against Boba Bees.
Yeah.
And you played here a very solid English.
Yeah.
Now this is very interesting to teach people in the 21st century, because if you played this move 30 years ago, people would have told you immediately that that is not how we play. We do not invite the opponent's pawns toward the center. We don't open up the B file. You need to drop back to B6 and play theory, yada yada yada. Actually, the engine's favorite move is takes on C3. But on that note, I would like you to know that knight B6 followed by knight C6 and then bishop B6, bishop B7 is a big opening line. But this is totally fine. You started developing like a champion, very good. Now in this position, did we look at E4?
Yeah, but then I was like, okay, where do the knight go? Maybe I will be trading knights, and then how do I defend the pawn in E4?
Hold on a second. So talk to me, young man, in lines, because I don't follow your proposed idea here. So how do we trade knights exactly?
What if the knight goes to D4?
That is my question.
I mean, right after I push E4.
Yeah. You tell me. What if the knight goes to D4?
But then I capture, and then
Yes.
capture with the pawn. Right. And then I will be attacking the rook, rookie boy.
Well,
So-
this looks to me like we are winning a pawn, right? Now, it is a known pawn sacrifice, by the way, because now white has got a bit of play here on the file. Queen C2 is going to hit here. But generally speaking, I wouldn't have minded you picking this knight in the face and take it from there. Alright. Okay, so we went bishop D6, it is fine. Castles, bishop D7, fine. I don't find anything untoward about that. Castles, leaving B7 on, very high T moment. This is why ladies are watching your stream, brother. Very high T moment. I'm very impressed. I also think it's completely unsound, but that is irrelevant. I am massively, shouting at you for this play. And here Queen D3 looks absolutely horrid. I think I would have gone to C4, but to be honest, it's not an aesthetic joy either. But Queen D3 just looks wrong. F5 very good, and now let's go, baby. Okay, so now we are getting to the point, the end of the game. By the way, if you play this style of chess, you are destined to succeed. In terms of develop, sack pawn attack, this is the type of chess that is going to win you games, irrespective of objective evaluation of the current position. So if we could keep this going, it would be happy days for sure. Okay, so E4, knight D4, and at this point, Mr. Barrera, I would like you to tell me what I'm going to call you every single boxer I can name from now. What moves would you consider for black?
If I remember,
what are candidates?
Of course, I remember I did capture that knight, and honestly, it seemed to me like the only reasonable move. What else could I have done? I don't know. I don't know.
It's interesting that you say that seems like the only reasonable move, because I can see two moves here that are at least equally reasonable. If not more so one than the other, and the other more reasonable than taking on D4, that is. So I think you really do have two very, very clear choices here rather than just one.
Probably. I mean, I'm not sure how reasonable this looks, but how about putting the bishop on c5 and like
Yep, I dig that. I dig that. Now, your friend here sitting in this beautiful chair is known for always encouraging people to put pieces in a certain segment of the board called the center.
uh-huh.
Put your pieces in the center is what we like to do, right? So
Well, yeah.
in that spirit, what move are we looking at?
There's also well, either the bishop or the knight go to e5.
Yes, and it's definitely not the bishop, because generally speaking, bishops don't do better in the center than just outside of it, because you're still controlling the diagonals. Knight e5 for sure, my friend. And here there is a very, very clear logic in what we are doing. So e4 has kicked the defender, right? So as soon as you play e4 and the knight departs, the king has got one fewer defender. Now, in strong contrast, instead of trading, if you play knight to e5, you increase the number of attackers. Now you are en route to g4, potentially. And so all of your pieces are pointing kingside, including the rook, by the way, which is ready to come across with a beautiful lift. So what you want to do now is to maximize attacking potential. And what you are looking to play after knight e5 is a subsequent c5, once again hurting the knight. Then pull the bishop back to b8 if need be, and then everybody is ready to go. Let me demonstrate this to you, because this is so freaking beautiful. Like, look at this, man. Here, queen here, it's already made. Like, it's over. You have got 47 pieces attacking on the king side, and they have no center, no development, no nothing.
Aye.
This is gonna go down in history as the greatest attacking game in Mexican chess history. Now, trade by far and large is not in your interest for two reasons. A, because by default it means fewer attackers, and B, because you're down a pawn.
Of course.
And so you need to be very, very frugal with what you trade and what you keep. And this would have increased the momentum of this attack that you started with f5, e4, whereas this one kind of messes with that momentum and allows white to have one piece is fewer to worry about. Yeah, okay. So that trade was unfortunate. And by the way, on this note, I would like to make a generic observation that top players by far and large tend to trade a lot more. And by a lot more, I don't mean more pieces, but I mean number of opportunities versus cashed in trades than usual. Oh, look at that! Is that the dude raiding us who you play this game against?
Yeah, that's my opponent, Boba. She's my best friend.
Yes. So, to put it plain language, club players, when they have the opportunity to trade, they very often end up trading without being able to explain, simply because that appears to them to be an obvious choice. Right? Because when you have no productive idea, then a trade seems to be a good thing to do, because more or less that's always justifiable. But it's a textbook case of why you shouldn't be doing this, because now we have got a new attacker. Anyway, moving on. Tac tac. F3. And now here we had a golden opportunity to blast the opponent's king side open. And here again, I feel like ever so slightly we might have gone for something a bit too crude, trying to always create one more threat. So, apart from bishop b5 played, how could we open this Shimazoli up here?
How should we open? Well, the first thing I can think of is maybe... well, just capturing f3, no?
Yeah, but I want you to think beyond a half move. So yeah, let's take. They take back, let's say, with, I don't know, with the bishop. What do you do then? The move after is the key point.
Right. If they capture back with the bishop, how about Bum. Doing. Yeah, wait. Yeah, of course. If they no. Capture back with the bishop. What can I do?
Remember, your objective is to open up the king as best as you can.
How about pushing the f pawn to f4? No, wait. Boing.
Yes, and I'm not waiting. Totally it, buddy. Totally it. F4.
Well,
And you are stripping this king absolutely naked.
all right. Well, at least I didn't make you wait, eh? So
Yeah, like this is what we're here for, right? There is no g4 because after queen h4 they can't defend it. If they take, I mean, this is already like, dude, it's everybody's rushing in for Matutsky.
Team 2, yeah. Boy.
Yeah, so it almost feels like it's too easy, but actually you had, and it doesn't matter what they take back with, by the way. You always have that.
Of course, if it
So it doesn't really make any difference. And if they take back with the pawn, that's just sinfully ugly because now these double D pawns are double isolated. You still have f4, by the way, to completely murder the bishop because now they have to go g4. And so this is now completely dead.
Murder.
Yeah, we are aggro. We are aggro in this house, big time. And yeah, this is just looking very, very, very pleasant. Very pleasant. I don't know if I would go queen e2 here or what I would do. The engine wants rook fb8, which is a bit counterintuitive but makes sense. h5 is a move that I would do actually, and just rip into the king side and try to infiltrate there. So overall, you have got here only very, very cool ideas to roll with. Okay, so that was a big missed opportunity here. And basically this one move allowed this game to completely slip out of your hand because here we lost the center, and unfortunately your opponent, he correctly identified that this was a very powerful idea.
Of course.
And all of a sudden the white dominant pawn center is just going to kill you because we have nowhere to go with the bishop, and we also can't really quite cash in on our lead in development. I'm trying to think if we could have saved this game here. Let me see how it went. We took on... Oh, wait, he didn't play that. He played rook e1. Which may be even stronger, actually.
Yeah.
Let me think. Did you see that e5 was coming before you played bishop b5?
No, I thought if I was coming. No, I never see that coming. I was like,
yeah,
they're gonna move the rook.
That's a bit of a problem because that's why it's only obvious move here, right? And
yeah,
it stings quite a bit. Now the thing is that right now they don't have a threat yet because they are pinned, but I don't know if they have got anything productive to do. So this move to me is panic mode.
It is.
Because you're moving a piece that is not under attack to a square where it does nothing. Right? Now, what would I have done instead? I don't know, but given the dire situation, the dire nature of the position, I think your best course of action here would be to stir the pot and try to find some counter chances on the king side, as always. Like your golden rule of thumb, when the poo hits the fan, you always want to go that way, not that way, because this is where you can find some hope of damage, yeah? So f4, they can't take because e1 is on, and we'll take it from here. I mean, okay, bishop e4 among other things would hurt because this is on, and this is on. But look, this is a mess. And sometimes you have to think pragmatically and practically. So if I feed this to Stockfish, are you gonna lose? 100%. But against the 1700 rated player in a rapid context, this is anybody's game, man. Like, that white king is so naked and defenseless that this is very genuine practical chance in a rapid game. Yeah, the problem here is that you are basically not offering too much resistance other than saving your pieces. But after, like, let's say bishop b2 d5, it just feels like we're getting completely overrun. And look at these guys. Like, gone are the days when they were looking down at the enemy king and we were slicing and dicing, and we are just idling on the edge of the board, being happy that we didn't get captured. So yeah, it definitely slipped out of hand there. And then that was a very unfortunate blunderino there, right?
Yeah, but then I was like...
yeah, we must have forgotten that that thing was on.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, I mean, look, this was gonna be rough going, even if you come back, and then maybe d5. And bishop a3 I don't think is a threat because we have bishop b4. But d5 looks dire. I think the most meaningful part of the game, two things that I really want you to take away from this would have been the knight e5 idea, denying the trade, keeping the knight as a target, and shoving everyone to the king side. And two, which is probably even more important, here to remain focused on this direction. This is where we want to go. And so instead of playing bishop here, take whatever f4, happy days, celebration, blah, blah, blah. And rocking like a star. Okay, let's move on to the next, which is still Mr. Boba.
Yeah. Try to...
Is Boba a fellow Mexican?
No, she's American.
Oh, okay. Sorry, you were saying?
Yeah, I try to, train with stronger opponents than me, so when I finally go to the tournament, it's going to feel easier. That's my idea.
Yeah. It's the same way how we're dating, right? That we only approach at least 9 out of 10 ladies, so that that's just how we roll. So that the 8s and the 7s just feel like a walk in the park afterward. I totally get you. That's how we should play chess too. Play up, punch above your weight, and then it's gonna feel like a walk in the park.
Exactly.
Right. Okay, now I'm assuming that this was a mouse slip. Please tell me that this was not intended.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what? I was expecting...
Do you think that it was a Sicilian or what?
I was expecting C5. So...
Right. Okay, I'm like...
I played C3 and was like, what the...
Okay, so I will just disregard the opening here altogether.
Yeah.
So hold on a second. So what is your actual line against the Caro-Kann? Now I'm curious.
D4. And then...
Yep, and then...
Then knight c3.
Okay, so classical main line.
Yeah, I'm a classical dude.
Right. You're a classical dude. That's once again what ladies stick to. Very good. Okay. So what you need to know about this, buddy, just so that we learn from everything that we do. Do you know what pawn structure this is going to be? It's a reverse of a very famous pawn structure.
The reverse of a famous structure?
Yeah. I don't know if I phrased that question in a way that triggers good answers.
Yeah, I don't know.
Rengao is flooding the chat with the correct answer, so have a look at this. And perhaps you are going to recognize this. So do we know what pawn structure this one is called? This thing here versus this thing here. Which very often, by the way, lends itself to a very famous strategic play for white, which looks like a mouse slip trap, when we play rook b1, b4, b5. Any of this rings a bell?
No.
No? Good. Okay, so we are going to learn something very cool today. So this is called the Carlsbad structure, named after the city of Carlsbad. very original. And this plan here of rushing your pawn up here is called the minority attack. And the reason why it's called so is because you have got 3 pawns on the queen side against 4. So you are utilizing your minority to do damage. And the actual idea is that once you get to b5, no matter how black responds, they are going to end up with a weakness in their pawn structure. If they take, then the d5 pawn is motherless. It has no pawns on either side to defend it. If they push past, it's an isolated pawn on d5 that we can strategically try to exploit. And finally, if they don't respond at all, then the c6 pawn is backward.
Right.
Now, why is this relevant to you? It's because now you have got the reverse version of that. So now it's your opponent who is going to do this. Now, what I forgot to tell you is the black strategy, which is the white strategy here for you. So generally speaking, white actually here cheats on the principles and develops bishops first. This is to disallow the pin. I will play a W move here for black just to demonstrate white strategy at its cleanest. So what you want to do, my friend, is chuck a horse on e5, then bring your queen out here, let's say. Just gonna play a few bozos again for black for the vibes. And you want to attack on the king side like your life depended on it. Right, so let's say they take you, well, that wins a piece, so I can't do that anymore. Let's say they play something like that, you sack. Alternatively, you can slide the bishop up to g5 to create the threat of take and mate, and that also allows you to extend on the king side with f4, adding an ultimate attacking opportunity like so. Now, this was the most rushed, most shallow crash course on both sides of the Carlsbad, but it will do for the time being. And obviously, in the meantime, black was meant to play for the minority attack. So let's see what you came up with in this game. Okay, so I would have preferred probably here to see h3 and perhaps even g4. Bishop e2 is a bit passive, but I will let it slide. Yeah, that's good.
I wasn't sure.
So here, you could consider jumping in right away. It would resolve almost all your problems. There is no annoying pressure here. This gets traded off, the other knight comes in, you castle, you're done. Granted, you would rather have a light squared bishop here, but that boat has sailed.
Right.
Yeah, and then you can still have a lot of fun in this position with the previously mentioned bishop g5 and then f4 ideas. And you still have some solid kingside play here. Good?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back. Queen d2. It was lucky that they took you. They really shouldn't have. This is the textbook case of do not release tension unless you have anything to gain from. Because as long as they don't take this, you're screwed with this knight. Not to mention the fact that you walked headfirst into knight e4. So queen d2 was definitely a no-go move. And when I critique moves like this, I always want to add that there's no way that this felt natural to you.
Yeah, it looks as
you're walking into knight e4, you're awkwardly guarding the bishop, you're blocking your own knight's move. So you only play this if there's literally nothing else you can find on the board.
Hey, thank you for the raid.
Yeah, is it me who is bringing in all the love, or are you this popular?
No, it's you. I'm usually never rated by no one. Actually, yeah, quite the opposite.
This is what you call a white lie, and you need to master this early on in life. Very good. Okay, digging it.
Thank you, Owen.
Owen's 234 cheered.
Okay, there. By the way, b3, yeah.
Thanks, man. B3. What?
Yeah, look, as you know, my generic go-to is if this is hanging, we sack it, right? Or Bumshki indeed. There we go. So knight d2, queen b2, rook b1, queen c3, castles. with the idea of this is something I would have considered. I'm not saying I would have done it, but I would have considered it. By the way, you are lagging, brother, again, apparently.
Ay, crap. I'm gonna have to kill the YouTube. Hopefully that solves it. Ay, sorry. Yeah, I had to kill the YouTube. No, well, at least. It got a few watch hours. Is it still lagging? It was lagging when I first started, but then it established, and then a little laggy. All right. Okay, I see the beat rate going up. Hope it solves it too. Yeah. Fingers crossed. Yeah, fingers crossed. Well, yeah, I'm usually not this laggy. This can be a bit.
Alrighty. So I will rock on, and we'll take it from here. Oh,
Okay.
look at Boba. She's very, very supportive and helpful, man.
Yeah, she's my best friend.
For good reason, apparently.
Aye.
I need to buddy up with Boba too.
All right. My YouTube manager, exactly.
Oh, that I need one desperately. Okay, so queen back. Ooh la la. Okay, now it's looking like she's not quite finding her range, so to speak. Now, I don't know if I would play this, but knight f5 annoys me to no end here. So I would very seriously consider here the possibility of g4, bishop g6, and knight e5. This is for two reasons. A, because I wanted to kill knight f5. Two, because in Team Coach Andras we only play high T chess. And this is going forward in a really high T fashion. Right, so I just want to go broke, man. F4 and just squash them. And I don't mean Boba, I mean the opponent. We love Boba, yeah? So we pretend that it's not her that we are playing against here.
Yeah, let's pretend someone else.
Yes, exactly. Right, so let's not muck around because mind you, c4 is in a different strategic way also clever and acceptable. So I definitely dig that too. But I'm a little bit worried about this knight f5 thing coming in. Yeah, and you blundered your pawn here now. Why did you not take back this with the knight?
Why did I not? Well, I don't know. I guess I wanted the bishop to aim through that diagonal with the rook. I thought that might be strong at some point.
Yeah, but see, the problem here, senor, is that you are caching or you are trying to validate a move by what I like to call an airy-fairy idea. Meanwhile, we are losing concretely to a very direct threat. So what we are doing here is the following. When your opponent went here, you should have done the following. What do they want to do? There's only one possible answer to that question, and that is knight f5. Now, by playing c4, you are actually strengthening the idea of knight f5 because your pawn on d4 is no longer protected by the pawn. Yeah, so this is where I like to refer to chess like a game of ping pong where I hit the ball over and they need to hit it back. And so there is this question response nature of the game. And very often on club level chess it breaks down. So your opponent hit the ball at you with knight e7, introducing knight f5. Right, now your response to that was still acceptable because knight f5 doesn't kill you, but now you need to be very careful. Now your opponent again challenges you, asking the question, and you still completely are unaware of the fact that knight f5 is coming. So here you are completely missing the ball, just to go on with this very confusing analogy. And by taking on f3 with the bishop, you just allow that threat that you were aware of, you have been aware of for the last 3 moves, should have been.
Yeah.
So every single time, man, like you should never ever respond to any move without asking yourself, what do they want? And in Rapid, it's hard because you have limited time. But you absolutely must. And you never feel at ease when you are sitting in a fat tempo with your queen and you know it's coming. That's always a moment of concern where whatever you want to do, you double check.
Right. And I don't remember what I did. Oh yeah, I did that. And then what did I do?
Wait a tick. So what Boba missed here is that she should have taken this with the queen for 2 reasons. A, because it's very good, and 2, because it's in her interest to trade queens since she just won a pawn. And last but not least, you wouldn't have had your response that you had in the game because now the queens are coming off and now this bishop is coming off. And you are just down a pawn for absolutely zilch. So you got a little bit lucky. Our favorite YouTube manager here didn't want to go too hard on you. God bless Boba. That looks like a neat tactic. Yep, I dig that. Very nicely done, buddy. Good. And now, unless we suck in some silly tactic here, you should be golden. Yeah, I don't mind that. Yep. I also would have actually, sorry, this is bad. And again, this is tactical awareness, by the way. So I want you to know how I think about this, right? So I look at knight f4 and I immediately notice a mate threat and the potential tactical idea on h3. It's not even on the board. And I'm already thinking in terms of what tactical tricks does this bring about? And you walked headfirst into one right away. So, knight f3, correct. This shielded off this diagonal. Knight f4 comes in, check is threatened. What is by far the most logical queen move here to deal with this threat?
Queen e3.
By far. Sorry?
Queen e3.
So why didn't you do it?
I don't know. I saw it right after I moved it wrong. Yeah.
What's wrong with this? Wasn't played in the game, by the way.
Well, this is what happened in the game. So, the rook came along, if I don't remember.
Yeah, but that's not the best punishment to this move.
Oh, yeah?
I don't think it was. I might have been.
What would have been worse?
Well, we're looking at tactics, so that means we are looking at checks and captures and threats, right?
Right. Well, I wanted to do
2 checks.
2 checks. Well, with the knight on e2, and the one with on the one on h3.
And which one is gonna hurt you?
Of course, the one on h3. I didn't see it, but that would have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the type of tactical awareness that I think we want to work on before the tournament, so that these things are like massive red flashing lights in your face when you see this knight on f4, queen lined up here. These tactical patterns, yeah, this is what you want to nail, both as a defender and as an attacker. That here queen e3 is absolutely no-brainer because you're hugging the knight and you're also kicking the opponent's attacker and you're getting ready to start trading on the D. Yeah. Now after rook d3, now we have, like, she's telegraphing rook f3. And again, back to ping pong. What is this doing to me? It is not the move that wants to double the rocks. Yeah, that's not the level of chess we are on. We know 100% that she's about to butcher f3. So now you are very, very much in trouble. I'm not even sure if this is savable. But I think your only legal move here would be either knight e1 or knight h4.
Right.
And everything else to me seems unplayable, but I'm even reluctant to call this because even after this move, we don't have a threat. So maybe rook d8 and we're still completely dead.
Dead.
Yeah, man. Like queen c2 was potential. Like even queen e5 was. Oh yeah. But see, the thing is that queen e5 blunders this, right? But now after king h2, we're still totally alive. Totally alive. But with queen c2, now Boba is showing her not so nice self.
She is really not. And actually, I think this is when I knew I was lost. Then I was, yeah. I think I could have still avoided the mate up to that point.
No, I don't think so.
I
mean, you could have if you hadn't taken f3, but that's irrelevant. On like you're down a piece, you're getting absolutely killed here.
Yeah, I was, and eventually I did get killed.
For our intents and purposes, this game is over here. Yeah, so this was very unfortunate because right now you're totally winning, like completely. And by the way, I know that this is going to sound like post hoc rationalization, but in this position, I'm already pulling the queen naturally rather this way than this way. Because the only way, and I always want you to think again, pragmatic, practical. So when you are in a position like this, up a pawn, right? You go like, how can this possibly go sideways? And almost always the answer to that question, when the position is otherwise calm, is that they stir the shit around your king. That's it. Right? Like that is the only possible way this can go sideways. If somehow this queen gets some support and they do some damage on the king side. And when you are thinking like this, you go like, okay, so if I play some queen move, then there might be this. And so from there on out, you just go like, okay, can I move the queen in a way that prevents this? Yep, done. And then easy peasy. All you need to do now is just knight to f3, trade the rooks, win the game. Right. Very, very instructive and interesting game that one was. Now, I want to see a victory by you because we have looked at 2 defeats by this lovely lady.
Well, there must be one, I'm certain.
Okay, I'm only looking at the rapid, right? So that's the only thing I care about. And by the way, as a bit of a piece of advice for the month to come, I want you to dominantly play that time control, which is the 10-2.
Yeah. Right.
Because obviously we need to play what we're going to face. Now, I found a marvelous victory, and I'm afraid that we might have to call it with that a day. Okay, so you do play. Wait a second. So you are playing Queen's Gambit declined, but we didn't know the Carlsbad structure. You're tarashing. Never mind. Okay, I was wondering, like, wait a second, this is not adding up. So you are Mr. Tarash.
I
like
do
that.
a lot of things
like
without knowing how it's called.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's a classic, and I'm a bit of a nerd for wanting to know everything and what they are called, so fair enough. Now you probably do know that this is not a standard move order for white here, right? So after c5, knight out without playing e3 or committing to capture can be a little bit hairy. Do you know why? Let me ask you a different question. What would you play in this position if I did this?
Shoot. I guess I don't know. I guess I would just play knight c6.
That would be your second best choice. So now I'm going to do something very, very annoying to you. What do you think white would play here after c4 if you didn't play e6 but you played h6?
Well, they will
And let
capture.
me tell you, exactly. They are not going to play knight c3. They will capture, because that is the reason why they played c4. They want to take this and destroy your center.
Gotcha.
And then when you take back, they kick you, and then they obtain the center. Right? Now let's apply this logic to the following question. If you play c5 and they play h3, what do you do?
Well, you capture now, and then what?
Right. Only acceptable answer. That's why you played c5. You also are challenging them, and you are anticipating here either a take on d5 or pawn e3. These are the two acceptable moves. Everything else allows you to take, followed by e5, followed by d4, and you completely took over the center. Now, why is it that I'm not blundering knight e5 here?
Because queen a5.
Right, and already black is better, because against anything at all, you're going to play knight c6 next. You are dominating the center, space advantage, the knight can't come out, yada yada yada. Now, obviously knight c3 is better than h3, but it doesn't change the basics, which is that you have to take this man. Knight takes and e5.
Of course.
And now if the knight goes back, d4 comes with a tempo, and you take over in the center and you roll like mad. You can even play f5 here and then knight c6. Look at this glory, man. This is what good chess looks like, and this also demonstrates that you understand your opening. You didn't memorize it, you understand it. That when you play c5, now we are having a very annoying threat. And we should have cashed in on it. Now, finally, I want to show you something important. If they play knight b5, you need to play a6 first. Because if you play d4 either way, then these two horses now a tad annoying.
Right.
Right, so a6 first. Kick off d4 and glory. Mr. Pancakes is walking away with a very clean victory. Yeah, you just develop your pieces and the game is gonna win itself.
Oh, well, that's what I want.
Yeah?
I want the game to win itself.
A lot of club level players fall for this in the Tarash, that they play the knight moves out first. And that's the reason why... Oh, okay, let me explain this differently. So that's why takes is acceptable, because after takes knight c3, if you were to take on d4, which is incorrect, now you don't have e5. Right, so that's the logic why in this position white either needs to play e3 or take. g3 is also playable, but oh, actually no, because then d4 is again a problem. Yeah, so those two. Anyway, let's move on. So now we are just back in theory. Nothing wrong with it. We just failed to exploit our opponent's inaccuracy. Now that again is royally asking for it. Like now you really should have smelled the rat that this is not the stuff that you're used to in the Tarash. And again, CD, oh man. And now you actually could have scored something really, really spectacular. Check this out. Black to move and be a rock star. Chad already knows it.
Boing. To move and be a rockstar. Ah, crap. I mean, how about doing? How about what can you do? Well, I guess you check. Queen a5. And
Bishop
then
blocks.
Bishop blocks, and then dang it.
Okay, so I need to here promote my own merchandise. So I just launched my merch shop a little while ago, and one of the t-shirts you can buy on my merch shop has the caption, "If you are not sacking the queen, are you even playing the game?"
That's really? I guess I never
that
played
is that is the motto, my friend. If you are invited to sack the queen, that's the way. Otherwise, we are playing CC chess.
CC chess? No, man. Okay. So then I guess you captured the donkey. Knight takes d5, and what's the idea?
Indeed, what's the idea?
Oh, to oh no, my queen. And then what? Bishop before.
Right. So the way this works,
That's
brother, is that if in a position the first move you look at is not knight d5, it means that your tactical awareness is not correctly wired. And that's irrelevant whether this move is correct or not. If the first move you're looking at after knight d5 is not knight d5 but anything else, your chess is incorrectly wired. Because half the time, that is the move. And that is the tactical way of thinking, and that is the way to find almost all tactical tricks, when you look to see if the impossible is possible. Right? So you are absolutely obliged to challenge this first by looking at, what if I take it anyway? And by the way, it doesn't quite win a piece because in the end the d5 knight is hanging. So in this position, king d8 takes, we're not quite winning yet, but it's looking really, really, really nice with d5 pawn being super loose.
right. You own that shirt? Okay, my dudes.
Oh, dude, that shit is gonna be big soon. So yeah, this was your opportunity again to punish like mad.
Right.
And now, unfortunately, we allowed them to fix it up. So now we are back to regular chess.
Back to regular chess.
All right, generally speaking, when this happens, is a good time to take this. Because now they will play two bishop moves back to back, and then you can play a6, b5. Here I really, really feel like we are missing opportunities to complete development in an acceptable way. So queen c7, and this is going to be a tad harsh, this should not have been a candidate move at all. Like, not at all. Because you have got here two things that you need to keep in mind that are very important. There is an enormous tension in the center, which unfortunately would result in you losing a pawn here, like this. And additionally to that, you have a bishop problem.
Of course.
So the demands of openings are such that they want you to develop all your pieces. Your bishop on c8 sucks.
It does.
Now the cleanest way to resolve this problem is that you take this, you play a6, you play b5, and you play bishop b7. And now we have a chess game on our hands. Right, and this bishop is now ruling. Someone is correctly stating in the chat that I guess in the back of your mind, maybe you are thinking leave on tension, because that's what you hear a lot from me, and that is correct. Except the only way for you here to develop this bishop and not release tension would be b6, but this to me feels a little bit wonky. I can't really explain why. But to be fair, this should have been your second candidate. So it's either take and then a6, b5, bishop b7, or b6, bishop b7. Queen c7 resolves zero of your problems and generates a new problem in shape of this pawn being unprotected. Plus, you also might walk into rook c1 when ugly pins are going to rear their heads. So this is not something you would want to do in this position at all. The other option that you had here was to immediately enter an IQ, an isolated pawn opening. I've got multiple videos on my YouTube channel about the structure. Here the mantra is that you want to trade with black like your life depended on it, because your position is passive and they have a structural weakness. Can you think of a move here that would induce trades for black?
A position, a move that, I don't know. Can you? I don't know. I mean, right now, I would like to put the queen on b6, and
yeah. See, the problem here again is that we're attracted to a piece that is not needing any more attention than what it already got. I guess you want to pile up on these two, but this is going to be very short-term success for you. So you do this. I'm not even sure you're threatening to take this, by the way, because aren't we getting the queen trapped? Hello?
Right.
Yeah, so this is what I like to again refer to as miswired chess, in the sense that this is the next thing that needs attention if you want to develop, right? If you want to develop, it has to be either a6 b5 bishop b7 or b6 bishop b7. It's a non-negotiable. But my question was, there is a move for black here that tries to invite trades, which is what we so desperately want here.
Well, there's a knight to, well, no, that.
No, go. I want to hear that.
Putting the knight to d5.
This, my brother, is your best move here. And the reason for that is because it ticks a lot of boxes that we are supposed to do in the IQP. Blockading the IQP, offering multiple trades. Now, the best course of action for you is if you can do it in a way that we don't have to retake with a pawn. Seemingly now we do, but actually not really, because if they take with the knight, you don't take back necessarily here, although you could, but you can just take this. Which means that we traded two pairs of pieces and we still kept the opponent's IQP on the board, which we can now utilize and use as a target.
Right.
Whereas if they take on e7, you take back with this knight, backing the other knight, allowing further trades, whether they take you on d5 or you're going to take on c3, and now the rest of your development is incredibly easy and fluid. Yeah, this is isolated queen pawn 101. And since you play Tarrasch with black, you must know the strategy is revolving around the IQP structures. So one of your homework is going to be to watch my videos on my YouTube channel about the IQP structures. I'm going to link it to you on Discord later.
That'll be great. Yeah.
Oh, I know you have already watched them several times, but just to recap. Wink, 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 wink. Right,
yeah.
So queen c7. Castles, take. Yeah, so in a way I like this move, even though it's a blunder, because it tells me that you really like to play aggressive, lively chess. But you must accept the fact that sometimes you don't get to do what you like in chess, and this is a textbook case. Your opposition is underdeveloped and cramped. In such cases, breaking out like this and provoking fight is very ill-advised, because your opponent is perfectly ready to fight and you are still just stepping out of the shower with a towel around your waist, and you go like, wanna fight? And they go like, yeah, bring it, let's see how that works out for you, buddy. And that's exactly how it's gonna work out, as you can imagine, when you are trying to fight half naked with a towel around your waist. Not good.
Yeah.
So the move that I think you should have played here is still take. And yeah, maybe rook d8 and then b6 bishop b7. Yeah, but the e5 break, I find it very difficult to believe that it could work. Like, bishop f6, knight d5 immediately kills us. Like, not even close.
Right.
And here I'm going to give you another piece of advice that you're not going to like. When you commit to a move like this, the only acceptable way to do that is if you calculate all scenarios involving the possible captures and their permutations, which seems, by the way, extremely demanding because there are so many of them, right?
Right.
Which, by the way, in general is a hint for you that we shouldn't be doing this, because once again, you're provoking a fight that almost feels incalculable with an army that is totally not ready to fight. Okay, let's move on. Tuck. We got lucky there. So once again, just take knight d5 and you lost the pawn in the game. Tuck, good. Good. Oh, you're not taking e2 here, young man?
I don't know. I really wanted to. I was hoping to mess up with the castle, I guess.
I guess I know what you mean, my friend, but after knight f3, bishop f3, bishop f3, queen f3, I don't know what you're messing up.
Yeah, nothing is really messed up.
Yeah, the only thing that you can really strategically shoot for here is to have the bishop pair, which is huge value, and it also allows you to retain the pin.
Right.
And now actually I quite like a position. We go h6 here, note how e5 is hanging, so I ignore it, and instead I counter punch. And if they take, then the bishop defends the pawn. Oh, thank you, Goblin, for adding me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Goblin
you definitely chose to take the wrong piece here. So the way I like to look at it, friend, is this. Your two best pieces are this and this. If I have to trade both of these off, I will cry myself to bed. So I'm gonna go for a clearly we have to trade, right? So there are two ways to get out of this without trading both. You either take this and then you retain your bishop pair and the pin. Small victory for you. Or the other one, which is a little bit more obscure and counterintuitive, is that you take with the bishop, allowing this monster knight to remain on the board when you definitely don't engage with this. Because that's the best piece on the board, and then you just continue developing after. But trading both is the least logical, because now we eliminated both of your good pieces. You're stuck with the two most passive ones, and now your opponent is having all the momentum because their army is fully developed. Once again, remember what I said to you earlier about trades? That club players, when they don't know what to do, almost always default to trades because they think that that's a thing that is just neutral. It's not advantageous, not disadvantageous, but it feels like I'm doing something. And so they do it. And almost always it's disadvantageous the way they do it. There almost never is in chess an equal trade. You should, well, the way you look at it is that what value do I give up? What value do I gain? And here with this trade, you gain nothing. You traded away your two best pieces for two of their most passive ones.
Right.
So you needed to keep one of them at the very least. Okay, back. Yep, good. I don't know what defends this. 94, bishop e7. Yeah, I don't get this. But then again, it was probably not possible to defend the pawn anyway. Yeah, okay. Oh, 55, missed that. Ooh la la, that pin, man. Can't we take this with the rock to avoid this pin?
I guess. And then double them.
Yeah, I think you should have. Because why are we taking this with the knight, allowing this knight to jump away, and now you are pinned forever?
Right.
And knight f5 is incoming, yada yada yada. Instead, you had rook here, and potentially even you are turning this into a pin here. Right, so that was a big strategic mistake there. Now, the other thing is that you still can't move the knight because of the knight f6 tactic. You can't move the knight because of the knight f6 tactic. So, I already spoke about tactical awareness in this lesson, and this is something that we need to hone. So, there is absolutely zero chance, brother, that you should consider moving this knight without you taking into account every single knight move by the opponent, because you have an unguarded rook here. So if you are playing 97 without looking at this check first, you're not playing this game. You're not actually being part of the action because it means you're unaware of your own situation. This is the equivalent of crossing the road without looking around first, hoping that this will be all good. And then a truck comes. So this is, this is going to be the focus of our next 4 weeks. That this, combined with this, on the same file with this rook that is unguarded because it's attacked by 2 and defended by 1, is a tactical source. And so you cannot ever think about this move without checking your opponent's possibilities to exploit that tactical source.
Right.
Simple as. Like this cannot happen without you ensuring that you're not dying to any knight jumps. And it's a simple check, like tactics work on checks, captures, threat spaces. White has only one legal check and that happens to win the game. So this technically, if you are playing chess well and you are more than capable of this, this should take you 5 seconds to establish that this move is losing on the spot. Tops. Because you already feel uncomfortable playing it, you expect shit to happen, and so you check the most obvious thing that can hurt you, and tada, proven correct. And from here on out, by the way, your brain immediately switches to the correction mode, which is, so I need to defend the rook before I can move the knight. And you start thinking in terms of moves like queen c6, which happens to create a pin of your own, makes the knight jump a lot more complicated. And now after knight jump, you are golden. You can also go to d5.
Right.
Which, by the way, would have been a solution to your problems. This is a bit higher level tactical Shimazzoli, because now you are defending a tactic with a tactic, because knight f6 seems to be hitting here hard, but actually knight f6 defends the rook. So you did have one knight move. Every single knight move loses, except for this. And the justification of this is also tactical. Even this should not feel comfortable, but calculation proves it correct.
Right.
Yep. So we played knight g6 and opponent cashed in. Fair enough. I'm sorry, I'm not laughing, but holy smokes, queen e4. That's a hell of a move. Okay, beautiful X-ray motif there.
Yeah.
Please tell me that you took the queen. Well, I was joking.
I mean,
you cashed in on it anyway, but that would have been a little bit cleaner, yeah?
Right.
Oops.
Well,
Oops.
yeah.
Oopsie daisy. Let me just very quickly check something. Right. Tell me, please, before this whole coaching champ started, were you working on any chess learning things like training, doing tactics, learning openings, anything of that sort?
Yeah. So I started streaming 2 years ago, and then I eventually hit 1200s, but I couldn't get past that. So I started teaming up with one of my friends who is a women freedom master, and then I eventually got to 1400s, and I'm very close. Well, I feel like I'm very close to the 1500s. So yeah, but I started spending time studying end games rather than openings and tactics. So when it comes to openings, I still miss a lot of things because I find it overwhelming to study.
Look, when it comes to openings, it's more important to learn just to live with and play with the principles rather than memorizing lines.
Right.
But where I was going was that what kind of tactical training did you do?
Just puzzles and trying to be like
From
wrong. Oh, from chess.com, of course.
Right. Okay. So what I was thinking is that we need to structure your tactical learning a little bit better.
Aye.
And so there are two things that I would consider doing. I'm not quite sure. Actually, mostly one. So what I think would be very beneficial for you is to, and you can do it via a chess book or you can get it in the Chessable format. It doesn't really matter. One tactics book / course that I think would be very, very suitable for you is the woodpecker method.
Ha.
Have you ever heard of it?
Yeah, we actually got a $100 voucher for Chessable, and I got exactly that course. I got it even before you told me. So, yeah.
Right. So my piece of advice there, and I shouldn't say this publicly, but I will.
Okay.
Is that if you really want to get the best bang for your buck, then buy the courses without the videos.
That's what I did.
And for a tactical course, you don't need the videos anyway. So did you end up buying the woodpecker, or you bought something else?
I bought the woodpecker. I bought another course that is called Improve Your Calculation. And
very good. Okay.
Yeah.
So what I would like you to do is to make it some kind of a habit, and I don't want to be demanding of your time too much, that we do the woodpecker either every day or at least every second day.
Right.
As a matter of fact, would you mind showing the chat the woodpecker on Chessable?
Well, don't mind if I do. Chessable. Oi, that's right. Because that was a Chessable. That was a woodpecker method. You see, my dudes, and I hope you can see this on screen. So it comes with couple of chapters, and you're supposed to play as many puzzles in a period of time, which I selected 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then solve them in half that time. Same amount, half the time.
Yeah. David, would it be possible, mate, if you screen shared with me on Discord, because I'm behind a little bit with watching the stream, and I want to be in sync with you.
Oh yes, certainly.
Or do you think that would mess up your stream even more?
No, I think there's a bit of a delay on the stream. I reckon that if you hit refresh, and this goes to all you on chat, if y'all hit refresh, then you will get rid of the delay, because my connection has reestablished. There was a storm.
Okay.
There was a storm.
Okay. So
like,
can you hit easy exercises, please, and just have a look at how we go? I just want to solve a few together with you, and then we'll take it from there.
All right. Easy. So there's ones. This is exercise number 1 or number 9. See, in chapter. How do you How do you actually open it? See, in chapter.
Because of you have already studied these, it comes up with the solutions. So scroll further down to ones that you haven't done.
Gotcha.
Let's go back to the chapter here and scroll down to where you see solve. No, you were on the right spot. You messed this up. Go back again. No, back out.
That's not?
Go back. Stop. Stop. See on the bottom right of the study where it says solve. Those you haven't done. Now your cut is wrong, so you need to adjust it.
Let's see.
But I can already see that was a mate in 3. No, go back to that. It's just that your OBS cut is wrong, so you can't see it properly on the stream.
Okay, I'll fix that. Wait, this What do you mean it's wrong? You can see the solve button, no?
No. Your OBS cut was off, I think. So if you click on the position, click solve.
Uh-huh.
So get the board up and then cut it, because now you don't know what you're cutting to.
There you go. Right?
I don't see the position yet. Click it now.
I already clicked it, but
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
you're cutting the wrong way, buddy. The left of the board is missing, not the right. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to pull a dirty on you, partly because I have to go soon. Are you with me?
I am. Hey.
So, what happened?
I paused
Why
it
did it
because I'm not sure what.
No, go back to it. Don't pause it.
There you go. Yeah, I'm not sure how long's the delay, but yeah,
this
I
is
think
why
I
I
have.
wanted you to screenshot, but that's fine. I don't see the position now, but I'm telling you. So it's Queen H6, Rook F8, Queen H7 mate, and I don't expect you to solve it with that speed, but I want you to be aware of the mentality and the thinking behind this. So I'm going checks, captures, threats. That's one thing that allowed me to solve it that fast. And the second thing is patterns. And that's what this course is doing to you, by the way. It forces you to think, well, it teaches you to calculate reasonably fast whilst teaching you patterns. So when you solve this puzzle, you look at where is my most logical check. You go Queen H6, sure, right? Then the king drops back to G8. And then you go like, shit, I don't have a mate on H7 because the queen is guarding it. And then you realize that Rook F8 deflects the queen, forcing it to take on F8, and then you have Queen H7 mate. Can you please play it out?
Deflecting the lady on.
Just play Queen H6,
of course,
please.
yeah. Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, and then Rook F8 check is the key move. So this should be, when you go through these puzzles enough times, like your second nature, right? Like no questions. Like this is what your brain naturally gravitates towards, is the check, capture, mate. And I didn't solve it in like 0.2 seconds because I'm a chess god. It's merely because I have the right habits. And what this does is that it tries to ingrain the correct habits. Let's move on to next.
All right.
Let's do one more.
How about I'm thinking getting
Is it
the
black to play, yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
I was thinking getting the king naked. So for that, join.
Okay, this is a noticeably harder puzzle because it is not one of our common patterns. So remind me, what is the first thing we look at when we solve puzzles?
The checks.
Checks. We have, let me help you out here, 0 sensible checks. What is the
Sure.
second thing we look at?
The captures.
Right, so you ought to look first in this position at bishop takes d2 as your only sensible capture.
Yep.
Right? Does that do anything good for you?
It moves the queen out of this diagonal, I guess. That's
Yeah, but it doesn't seem like we can follow it up, right?
yeah, exactly.
Right. So now we move on to third thing, which is threat. Now, threat is a vague terminology, so when I teach this, I always teach my students that when you are looking for threat, your two favorite threat types are direct mate threats or attacking the enemy queen. Because these two are the most powerful, like they force your opponent to respond. Yeah? Can we create a mate in one threat?
If you had, say,
Just give me the answer. No, we can't. So then we go on to, can we attack the enemy queen?
take the enemy queen. I guess again, not really.
Well,
Right.
let's. Tactics is always it doesn't appear to be doable, and we find out that it actually is. So talk to me. What moves attack the queen?
Well, you could get rid of the this the donkey to c3.
And you are a rock star, my friend. You found it.
Of
C3,
course.
knight c3.
It's pinned. It's pinned. Well, the bishop is pinned, so the lady will have
Exactly.
to. Oh, all right. Yeah. Okay, that's it. This is
And
all
then
this.
it turns out you have to look at all lady moves, right? Because the lady is still legally allowed to move.
Well,
So
have
can
to
the lady move?
H,
Yeah, what's the problem with that
Right.
move?
and then there's discover attack.
I would just simply take it as a free piece.
On h5.
Yeah, no. As in like d2 is free to take.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Like not every tactic is going to be a spectacular checkmate. Sometimes you just win an exchange. So done. You solved it. Knight c3, and that's it.
Okay.
And they will take. You take c1. You're up in exchange. Happy days next.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, friends, this is marking the end of our first session. I got to bounce because I have got a lesson coming up. In fact, I'm already late from it.
Oh boy.
But it was an absolute delight to finally meet up with you, brother, and start doing coaching. This should be your absolute priority. Woodpecker day in, day out.
Back day in, day out.
Okay? Absolutely. When in doubt, woodpecker.
All right.
Okay, and we are going to work a little bit on your openings, but not in the wrong way, which is that we are going to memorize meaningless openings. We're just going to continue tidying up your basic understanding of openings, principles, and the likes.
All right.
As I did a little bit today. I will suss out with you on Discord future lessons.
Yeah, that'd be great. If anything that I could be, to show up prepared and get the most of it, that'd be great.
And also, I will pester you with things once again on Discord. So, yeah.
Yeah, feel
Don't
free
you worry.
to do so.
You are not going to have any rest from me and any peace for the next month. All right, brother. Thank you very much for this session. I had a lot of fun. I hope you did too.
Yeah, sure did.
Shout out to your audience as well. And yeah, I will be in touch on Discord for our next meetup.
Sounds great. All right, shout out to Coach Andras, my dudes. Oh, he already
All
was
right, David.
shouted.
Thank you so much, buddy. Have a good one. See ya.
You too. Have a good one. So,
Bye.
yep, that was Coach Andras, my dudes. Give it up, put your hands together.